Hello everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. Today is Wednesday, January the 29th, 2025. I wanted to come here guys and give you some breaking news, and I guess I can say some alarming news. Very surprisingly for myself to hear something like this is about to happen. This is the reason that I wanted to make this episode. But before I continue, I do want to apologize. I am having some audio issues, so you might hear some type of echo. As you can see, I'm not using the microphone, so I do apologize about that. Hopefully I'll get it fixed just in time, right? When I create another episode, I just heard my heater go on, so I'm gonna try my best to speak loudly. So in case you haven't heard, everybody, the current president, the elect president, just announced this afternoon that he's planning to send 30,000 illegal immigrants to Guantanamo Bay. And to be honest, guys, when I heard that, I was in complete shock, okay? I was in complete shock, and I was like very concerned. And let me just tell you what, hear me out. I know he's not doing anything that he didn't say he was not going to do. That's what I said in my previous video, right? This man has been saying his priority in the new administration will always be immigrants, right? Illegal aliens, right? But the reason that I got surprised about it is that he never mentioned Guantanamo Bay before, right? So this is why it's shocking. And Guantanamo Bay doesn't have the best reputation in the world, right? We all know what happened with everybody who was sent there, detained there after the attacks that happened in New York, right? We all know what happened with them, and the photos that came out of that, the conditions, right? Innocent people, because everybody who was sent there wasn't guilty, right? So innocent people were subject to crazy cruelty, abuse, everything else that happened there. And to be honest, when I heard that the president is planning, okay, he signed an order already. He's planning to send 30,000. He's getting it ready. I do apologize. He is getting it ready. I am very concerned, and I posted something on one of my social media, and I said, if you are in this country legally, I would suggest you just do whatever you have to do to just leave on your own, because let me just tell you something. He's opening up Guantanamo Bay. Like I said, in Guantanamo Bay, it doesn't have the best reputation. Anything can happen there, right? And the thing is, like, he's saying he's gonna put there the worst of the worst, right? There is no guarantee that he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is no guarantee that everybody, 30,000 of them, will be called the worst of the worst. And the reason that I say that is, we see right now how there in the last 48 hours already some mistakes have been made, meaning that they're not really detaining everybody who's illegal, right? So you know, even myself, I will have to go around with my paperwork, I guess you can say, right? You just never know, right? So the reason for that I'm just so, like, I was like, this is not good. He signed the order for opening Guantanamo Bay to send 30,000 illegal aliens. He's saying the worst of the worst, and it's not a detainee center either. Listen to this, right? And I'm waiting for the noise to go away, but listen to this. It's not a detainee center. The reason he wants to use it for the worst of the worst, he's saying he sees that overseas presidents, he's saying he doesn't trust them enough for them, that if he deport these people, he deports them back to their country. He doesn't trust them that their own president is going to be able to keep them in their country. You know, he doesn't trust them for them to be kept there. So he's like, I don't want them coming back at all, so I might as well just keep them here in a jail cell. That's dangerous, you guys. Okay, that's the problem. So this is what I'm saying. You know, I'm obviously this message is not for people who are doing criminal stuff, obviously, right? This is for everybody who falls into the cap of illegal aliens, right? because I do know, guys, that there's a lot of people who come here, with the best intentions, right, to get a better life, to work and all of that, and they've been doing it for so many years, but the status should have been changed already, right? They should have been more proactive to get the paperwork fixed. I know it takes a long time, things happen, there's a money issue too, because all these renewal things, everything costs money, right? And when you're just making enough just to survive, I think it can make it harder, right? But when I heard earlier this evening that he is planning on sending 30,000 of them to Guantanamo Bay, this is not good, okay? This is very, I think it's more aggressive than actually starting to detain people already. This is the reason that I say that, is because it's not like he's grabbing them and be like, okay, send them to Guantanamo Bay, and from Guantanamo Bay they go back to the country. He actually wants to keep them in Guantanamo Bay, right? Because he's saying he doesn't trust their own president to keep them in their country, and not to keep them secure in their country, now allow them to come here again, right? So he's like, let's open up Guantanamo Bay and send 30,000 of them. He already signed the order. So let me read to you briefly this article, now that you can probably hear me better. And like I said, I do apologize about the, give me 1 second here. President Trump said on Wednesday that he plans to send 30,000 illegal immigrants to detention facility at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, as part of his campaign to mass deportation migrants who have committed crimes, right? Trump inked a memorandum requiring the Pentagon and the Department of Homeland Security to prepare migrants there after previewing their plan while signing the Anti-Illegal Immigration Laken-Riley Act. And he said, today I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Department of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000 person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know that we have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. And so it says here that the memorandum requires the Defense Department, DHS, to take all appropriate actions to expand facilities to full capacities, to provide additional detention space for high-priority criminal aliens unlawfully present in the United States. So, the United States has a long-term lease from Cuba government for the naval facility at Guantanamo Bay, which housed the suspects since September. What happened in New York. I'm trying to not to say everything because I don't want the video to be black, but so right now only 15 people are there. 15 detainees are at Guantanamo Bay, 15. So he wants to use that space to send the worst illegal aliens, right? So illegal immigrants, I'm sorry. So let's see here. About 50,000 Haitians and Cubans were housed at Guantanamo Bay from 1991 to 1996 at a cost of about $250 million. The majority of Haitians were denied asylum, while the opposite was true of the Cubans. So they're saying they're just gonna make it a migrant center. That just doesn't sound good at all to me. I don't know, like when I heard that, guys, it doesn't sound good because I don't know if I'm mistaken, but he never mentioned Guantanamo Bay before. And this is the same thing that I said in my previous video. This president said his main priority, one of the main priority, he always said it, was illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. I keep saying aliens, but I mean, I know what it means, but this is why when you hear something like this, we need to be proactive and smart and be like, because right now people are being separated from their families, and people are like, oh, it was so aggressive, they came to my workplace, this and the other. This was coming, like it was not something that it, it was not something that, oh yeah, he didn't say in the next, in the next year after I gain after the inauguration I will begin to do this. He said within the first day he was gonna start. So why people, you should be more proactive, especially knowing, right? Especially when you know that things like this are gonna happen because it's in the Bible, right? So it's nothing like, it's nothing like should be taking us, like I said, by surprise at all, right? So then the other thing is, he says that attorneys suspect at Guantanamo say they expect litigation if Trump threats come to fruition, and will be deportees claiming lack of due process and access to court, as well as alleged substandard conditions and potentially the denial of access to asylum process. I just, one thing, I'm all for catching the people who are doing criminal stuff. I'm all for that, right? But it's I feel like because they're just gathering people, right? They're doing this mass deportation. There are gonna be one or two people who are gonna be sent over there who have no criminal history other than that they just came here illegally, right? And they're gonna be exposed to whatever treatment is there. And we know, like I said, you guys, we know Guantanamo Bay doesn't have the best reputation. And people are like, well, they're going to be checking on to be treated right. If they did that, I mean, you remember, I will never forget, like I was in college looking at the photos that came out after the people were detained at Guantanamo Bay. Just suspect, right? They were never, the majority were never really, didn't even get to trial. They were being abused, and there were so many crazy stuff that came out. And I know some of the soldiers actually ended up in jail and all of that because of that, right? But I just feel like people should really pay attention to what's happening. This is all biblical, by the way, moving from city to city, all of that stuff, from country to country. This is all biblical. So these things are going to happen, right? It shouldn't really take us by surprise at all. And the reason that I say that also is because, this is, he never kept it a secret. He's always said this was his priority. This man always mentioned that, right? So that's something that we need to pay attention to. I don't have a good feeling about Guantanamo Bay. And for this, maybe that was already in the works and all of that, but I just felt like it was just so random because, like I say, it's not like he's gonna grab them right from the streets and house them there, right? And then send them back to the country. He say, I don't trust their country to keep them, because if they're so bad, right, I do not trust them, their own country, to keep them enough. So I might as well just keep them in jail in the U.S., right, in the U.S. facility. That's crazy. And I think if you don't want to get involved in that mix, because there's a fine line, right, and because right now it's just massive, aggressive attack on this problem that the country has. So one or two people, innocent people, are gonna get caught up in that mix. So if you don't want that to happen, my suggestion would be, if you know you're already guilty of whatever, just leave on your own. Because imagine you trying to live on your own, they're like, oh, you're not going anywhere, right? We're just gonna keep you here. So that's the whole thing. Let me know, guys, what you think about this. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the podcast. Have a good day, everyone. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day everybody. God bless.